This is Tom Doody, middle-aged American living in New Jersey near the Lincoln Tunnel. If you were to visit my website, you would type Howdy Doody into Google. You'll find the correct spelling of the famous puppet. You then combine Tom Doody in a Google search for my site. In the Hoboken tournament, I'll be reading from Sports Illustrated. Caitlyn Jenner is on the cover. It's listener warning. It's very long. So if you look at the minutes of this video, you see that it's of excessive length. It is a credit to the writer of Sports Illustrated, which I will say in just a moment. Testing. The small picture here is Bruce with his first wife. It's my understanding Bruce, Caitlyn, this person who transitioned genders, has had 3 wives. The most recent is Kris Kardashian, the Kardashian mom. In the text, we learn that Caitlyn is not overly sensitive about referring to this person as Bruce, as referring to this person as he. The text also describes how some transgender people are. Once you recognize that this person was always a female, this person begins to see that person as a female and thinks it's respectful that everyone does, disrespectful when people don't. Caitlyn is not as sensitive. This is a Kardashian group with Kris, who is the 3rd wife. And I think that's the last page. I'm going to do a battery check. I have 2 batteries that are necessary on this. Testing. What is my cell? And it's at 27%. So this might quit. So here we go. Come here. a tall, upholstered stool in the kitchen of her hilltop Malibu home, Caitlyn Jenner stands and smacks my shoulder with her hand while swiveling her chair toward a hallway. Her shoulder-length brown hair flips hurriedly across her face as if in pursuit. She takes a few long strides, turns left, and walks through her bedroom-sized closet. Into the bathroom, into a vanity with two stacks of light bulbs flanking a mirror. She bends to open the middle of her three drawers, where a white plastic zipper cosmetic case decorated with patterns of women's lips sits on top. She snatches the case and tosses it onto the vanity and retrieves the item below, a wooden box, stained dark red, wrapped in brown leather sleeve and embodied with the logo of the 1976 Summer Olympic Games. "Here it is," said Jenner, "in my nail drawer." That's what you can say. It was in the nail drawer. Jenner has been performing in public for much of her adult life. She understands the impact of spoken words and the way they make some people smile and others seethe, the way they peel back layers, eliciting affirmation or exposing intolerance. Most of her words do this, especially now, as do most of her actions, including drawing breath. The 66-year-old Jenner slides the flip open lid, revealing the gold medal she earned 40 years ago for winning the Olympic decathlon with a score that would be competitive for a place on the 2016 U.S. team. To be selected this week, think about that. The medal is perfect, around with rough sculpted edges, nestled in felt and attached to a metal chain. It's the same chain that was draped around Jenner's neck on the night of June 30th, 1976, at the Olympic Stadium in Montreal. The same medal that Jenner lightly kissed before turning and seeing the American flag raised and hearing the Star-Spangled Banner. Now, as quickly she retrieved and displayed the medal, she snaps the box shut, wraps the sleeve around it, and drops it back in the nail drawer and sets the plastic case on top. Jenner has a complex relationship with the medal in her bathroom. In the drawer in the box beneath the plastic case, it commemorates extraordinary work that almost allowed her to withstand the pain of what is now called gender dysphoria, but was seldom talked about at the time. The decathlon, she says, was the perfect distraction. A decathlon victory was a rare achievement. There are only 22 Olympic gold medalists, 12 American. But to Jenner, it can, at times, feel insignificant. It represents one of the greatest moments in her life, yet her life is different now. Sports is not real life, she says. You go out there, you work hard, you train your ass off. Win the games. I'm very proud of that part of my life. And it's not like I just wanted to throw it out. It's part of who I am. What I'm dealing with now, this is about who you are as a human being. What did I do for the world in 1976? Besides maybe getting a few people to exercise a little bit, I didn't make a big difference in the world. The medal has been sometimes in a drawer, sometimes in a safe, but never on display. Years pass when she didn't even look at the medals, says Jenner. And then she shrugs. It was great for the kids, the show and tell. It's true, the Olympic Games play and life is real. A medal rewards great achievement, but timely and just a paperweight. But, what if there's no medal? If there's no medal, a 26-year-old named Bruce Jenner, who presented and competes as male, but even then, and long before, feels strongly that he is female. Does not leave Montreal famous, does not get stopped on the streets of New York City for autographs, does not become a useful broadcaster and painfully bad but well-paid actor, does not become comfortably wealthy, and eventually not, and then wealthy again. If there's no medal, Jenner probably does not, after 2 divorces, marry Kris Kardashian in 1991 and become a player in one of the most popular reality television series in history. If there is no medal, Jenner does not, at age 65, attract an audience of more than 17 million primetime special in April 2015, when she announces to ABC Diane Sawyer the transition to living as a woman, and does not, 2 months later, post on the cover of Vanity Fair in a corset silk bodysuit on the day of its release, accumulated more than 1 million Twitter followers in 4 hours. Faster than President Obama, who was the previous record holder. If there was no medal, she does not launch her own series on E! Last July, I Am Kate, which details her life in transition. If there is no medal, Caitlyn Jenner almost certainly does not become the most famous transgender person in history. She does not become a towering, literally 6'4" in heels, public figure who both unifies and polarizes, even within the trans community. While spurring discussion on gender issues in ways that no one else has. She has used her celebrity earnestly, sometimes naively. Honest. Oh, I just got a low battery signal on my cell phone. Listeners, this is a disaster. Dusting. Sometimes naively, on a steep learning curve with millions watching, to help 700,000 trans men and women and children in America who battle not only intolerance, but almost suicidal thoughts, depression, poverty, staggering rates, and who are just gaining a foothold in society. I feel like now nobody can say they don't know a transgender person because she is that famous, says Chris Mosier, 35, a transgender male triathlete who represented the U.S. at the World Sprint Duathlon Championships last month in Spain. She has brought about this awareness among people who are attuned to pop culture and media challenges that trans people face have really come to light since she has come out. If there is no medal, she does not affect the lives of thousands of families. If there is no medal, families trying hard to find in transgender world that many medicine specialists in care of gender nonconforming children and transgender youth in Children's Hospital Los Angeles. For parents who are scared or nervous about having a child come out as transgender, it suddenly feels like they're not the only one. This text here. True medal. At her home in Malibu, Jenner usually keeps her gilded souvenir from the games, famously celebrated with Christie opposite It's her first wife, his first wife. Famously celebrated with Christie, buried in a bathroom drawer. That's the end of the text that goes along with that picture, and it referred to Christie. I continue with the narrative. Because they remember Caitlyn from the Olympics, and this is real. And for the kids, they know Caitlyn is all. And for the kids, if they know Caitlyn at all, it's from the Kardashians. Both, for them, their life is impacted by their parents. If there is no medal, in the April video of Jenner using the women's bathroom at Trump Tower in New York City, and afterwards saying, by the way, Ted Cruz, nobody got molested, does not get viewed 2.5 million times in 5 days. The video was a response to North Carolina law that required people to use public bathrooms that corresponded to their gender assigned at birth, regardless of how they identify. It's a ridiculous law, she says. If there is no medal, Jenner does not pose on the cover of this magazine, a few weeks shy of her 40 years since her last Sports Illustrated cover. In which Bruce Jenner was captured crossing the finish line in Montreal, letting loose a triumphant scream. She does not put the medal around her neck in the public for the first time since the Olympic Games. It is a startling pose that delivers two messages. The first lands softly celebrating an aging sports hero on the anniversary of a proud moment. The second hits with more force. Fully a transgender American, thanking her country for its tolerance and asking for more. Jenner understands the power of this image. It brings attention to this issue, she says. That's the important thing. That's why I wore the medal. Testing. If there is no medal, there is none of this. I had not won the games if I was not on the Wheaties box and I hadn't become this celebrity. Would all this have happened? Ask Jenner. She pauses. Jenner gave speeches for 4 decades as Bruce. And now, for a year, as Caitlyn. When off script, though, she speaks less decisively. Certainly life would have been different. The gender issues I was never getting away from, but these would be different. I would hope I would be doing some of the things I am doing today, but certainly not on the same scale. Listeners, I'm taking a break here. It's roughly 1/3 into this text. We'll probably do this in 3 parts. And just a note about my tech, I am, in addition to being wireless, I am not Bluetooth wireless, I am Wi-Fi wireless. So that means, in theory, I can go anywhere in this very big station. It's the first time I've done a recording this way. And while it's clumsy, it's kind of fun. So if this test recording has decent quality, I will do this again. This has been Tom Doody, Middle Age. I'm in Hoboken. This is the beautiful Hoboken, middle 19th century terminal, train station, ferry terminal, light rail station. This has been Tom Doody, middle-aged American living in New Jersey near the Lincoln Tunnel. If you were to visit my website, you would type Howdy Doody into Google. You'll find the correct spelling of the famous puppet. You then combine Tom Doody in a Google search for my site. Thank you for listening. Have a good day, good evening, a restful night, Sean. A restful night's sleep. Ciao. A note about Hoboken, it is the home, childhood home of Frank Sinatra. He snubbed the town once he became an adult. He rarely returned. Hoboken has not forgotten him. Everybody knows Frank is from this town, even the teenagers at Starbucks. Ciao.